And we are live with another episode of Subscription versus Issues, y'all. This is all for Selena.
Triple OG double OGC.
This is Queen.
Southside Rashad.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
guys. Yeah, you. Was that you, Rashad, or CC?
You know that was Sierra.
You sound like Mr. Proud. But listen, so let's get to it, guys. So wrong, still wrong. The N word. And when I say the N word, I'm not talking about Nigeria. I'm referring to.
This daggone girl. Nigel.
I'm, I'm referring to nigger or nigga.
Mm.
Wrong or still wrong. Either version. For me, either version is wrong.
Mm.
It was wrong then, and it's wrong now.
For me, nigga. For real though.
But okay, so where does that word stem from? Okay, like I don't see how it could. Is it because it's and not a It's okay for you,
Ah.
CC?
No, it's not that. So basically, yeah, it definitely stems from something way beyond before slavery, and I think it was, and I may be wrong, but basically, yeah, I don't want to get into it because I don't really know the specifics, but I know that it was before slavery, as far as like the actual root of the word, like negus, you know, um, but I don't know. I feel like I was actually just watching a show about this, but I feel like every culture really has their own word. You know what I mean? And I feel like as far as what's acceptable for us to say it or whatever, like it's we the power is in the word, and that's something that we took back from the what we were able to take back. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that like it's okay for me to say the word because it's not in that form, and we took the power out of that word and made it our own. And it's okay to be like, no, white people can't say it because you weren't oppressed for 450 years. You know what I mean? And um I feel like you know you're not given 40 acres and a mule, so you can at least give me a word, and it's something that you can't say. But a lot, like I said, a lot of cultures, like Mexicans calling people wetbacks and beaners, like they will fuck you up over there. You know what I mean? Like, it's everybody has like their culture, and so, but I feel like for some reason other people of the pale faces feel as though that they can say it, and I don't understand that. So, but yeah, that's how I feel about it. So it's not necessarily the nigger or nigga, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not talking about, when I say nigga, I don't mean black people. I just, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean when I say nigga. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's because
Now.
we know you, but like if someone who doesn't know you and you're out saying it, how they're supposed to know that you mean nigga versus nigger?
Well, I really don't say nigger like that. And if
Yeah, I
I,
don't
I,
either.
ne- I never really say, hey, nigger, come here. I'm like, hey, nigger, come here, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then also, to be honest, I'm not really around a lot of white people daily. Like, I can't really remember the last time I actually was around a white person other than like the store. You know what I mean? And that's not intentional. It's just like, even like just where I work, just not white people, and I'm not like going out all the time. So I really don't have to, I really don't worry about that. You know what I mean? And if I was like, I feel like I would surround myself, with the white person. I'm like, hey nigga, you pass the blunt, and then they will know that's in term of endearment, but they know not to say it. That's all I would think. So yeah.
Mm. I use it as a
Okay.
term of endearment amongst my friends
Hmm.
and like people I'm close with. Like even if it's another black dude I just met, I'm probably not gonna call him that because I don't know how he views the word. So it's something I'm gonna use like once I get comfortable with that person and I understand who they are. I won't just assume because he looks just like me that he wants to be called nigga or
Yeah.
nigger or any of those.
But do
Fact.
you ever use nigger?
I don't. I don't.
Someone needs to define nigger versus nigga. CC.
To me, I don't think there is. I don't. I don't really know how to express this. It's not that I don't think it's a difference.
Hmm.
Is that I definitely think there's a difference, but it's just like if I'm saying it, you know what I'm saying, and I'm saying like nigger, you know what I mean, which I do sometimes, like nigger, you know what I mean, like, and I'm just like joking around. But if I'm saying it, like on my part, I feel like there's no difference. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's only on a difference if someone on the other of the other race says it. You know what I mean? But my part, like I don't. If me saying it, I don't think there's a difference.
Okay,
Yeah.
Queen.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Rashad.
No, I was just gonna say like yeah, like if you just like you, if you called me a nigger versus you called me a nigga, I still wouldn't be offended either or.
Right, right. But if it was somebody else, I would be like, oh,
Who's
that's a
somebody
big.
else? Who's somebody else?
The other
Well,
race.
If
yeah.
The
So,
somebody
other
but
that
race.
is
I wouldn't want
not
them to
black,
say it either at all. So that's why I'm saying it's not. It's that's why I was trying to make it to express it in a way where it's just like I don't feel like there is a difference because the only person who should be saying it is a black person. So if it, but obviously I feel like, we will get into this. I feel like there are black people who allow other white people to say it, and that's where the difference come from. But if we were just as a whole, just black people saying it, it's not really, we understand the connotation and like how it came about. You know what I mean? But as far as us using it in our vernacular, it's not a difference.
Um, and to touch onto that subject really quick, like Queen, growing up in
He's calling
school,
me.
did you hear opposite race use the N word? Cece.
Um, girl, I can't even remember what the hell I ate yesterday, so I couldn't tell you what we talking about almost 20 years ago. But no, I don't. I really can't remember it. We had a lot of people that was white people that was hanging out with black people.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, but I don't really recall anything like that taking place. Now, I really wasn't out, around all these people to know was they giving them the fair chance to even say the word nigga. I don't know.
So for me, like especially when I went to Durant High School, that word was utilized a lot among people, not so much not within my friend group, even though they were, um, fair skinned, white Caucasian, but I would hear it from the Caucasians, and they felt comfortable utilizing that word. You know what I mean? And it was
Mm.
just like, well, obviously you've heard this and you think that it's okay. And then a lot of times the response is, well, I didn't use ER or it was in a song that I heard, and that's why they feel so comfortable utilizing it. You know what I mean? And then so my point is that people are I don't there's been an ignorance to what that word actually means and how harmful it is to people of a certain descent. And now that, the race is adopting that word and saying, well, it's okay for us to say it too.
But
And
right,
it's
both of those words mean two different things, right?
what? Nigger
The
means nigger.
ER
It's
and
just
A.
no, it means the same thing. Like they were saying, it's like people would say nigga, like, drop the ER, but like they would say the same thing. But I think the like you said, became informative now because people like the white people wanted to start using it, but they weren't gonna say the ER because it's clear,
Mm.
like so they started putting an to it. You know what I mean? And what
Oh,
and
that's
so
good.
it's like one of those things where now that they're utilizing it, you see like a lot of people, it's in a lot of cultures, even to this day. My son's school, like they're still using that word. They don't say ER, they say but they don't know the context behind it. You know what I mean? Like,
But
why are
that
you
I feel like with them being kids, that shit happening at home, bro.
Facts. And that's
Like
what
I
I'm
don't care
saying.
what nobody says. Like it's at home. Maybe the Caucasian people be at home saying stuff like that, and that's what I feel like. It starts at home. I don't care what nobody
Yeah,
says.
yeah,
It ain't no.
definitely.
It ain't no other way to look at it.
So my thing is, we all know, and correct me if I'm wrong, that word nigger was used as an emotional abuse tactic during slavery
That's
Hmm.
to
correct.
belittle the mindset of the Africans and African Americans to make them feel less than human. Can we
African
agree?
American specifically though,
African
That's
American
correct. Yes.
specifically. Can we
not
agree
the
to that?
Africans. Yeah.
Right? And so Cece's here, like her comment was, well, you didn't give me 40 acres and a mule. Um, I could at least get a word. Now, my thing is, it's their word. Why do you want the word?
So I don't think it is their word, and I don't think any
Yeah, we
word
took it
belongs
back.
to. Yeah, that's
You
that.
you
That's the
never had
that's the
it. What
whole
are you
point.
taking back? You never had it.
But that's the reason why I wanted to get into the depth of actually the word, because as I said before, that I know for sure and for certain that the word is can it stemmed from that, but it did not start at slavery. It did not start there, and it did not
And I
start
just
it did not. So I still understand the bad connotation behind it, but at the end of the day, like I feel like that is something that we took back, and we took the power of it. And so being that we took the power of it, we like I feel like because of the race still trying to say it in that type of view, trying to convey it, because when white people say it, that's their view, because they have continued to do that in a world where we're not necessarily quote unquote racism is um like where racism is like bluntly like colors and whites anymore. They're racist in other ways. It's not like it's like you're not getting this job racism. You know what I'm saying? They're not like it's not like racism, and it's just different ways. It's still racism, but at the same time though, because we took the word back, we've like I don't think that as a person, like I shouldn't be punished because of my vernacular and how I grew up and how I was raised in my culture and what we do and how we and show terms of endearment and things that we say and how freaking awesome we are as black people as a whole. I think the only reason why it's a bad connotation is because white people are still giving it that still
That
speaking
disrespect.
that disrespect. Because if it was something where no black person was just like, okay, yeah, so and so can say it, or if it was something where it was just like, if we didn't really have, if they literally stopped saying it and it only we said it all the time, and we never really came across people on CNN talking about why I can't say the word nigga on live TV and all this other shit. If we never really had that, I don't think it would be this bad connotation. I would think, oh yeah, that's something that so and so says, just like in our language. You know what I mean? So I think it's more so. I think it's not necessarily that I want the word. It's more so that like we took the power of it and made it a different power. And I feel like there's like a really interesting clip between Oprah and Jay-Z talking about the word, and how Oprah was just like, yeah, when I feel like it said, I feel like I'm talking about slavery and how my people was oppressed. And Jay-Z was just like, well, when I feel like what it said, I'm talking about like how I took back the word, you know what I'm saying? And it's a part of our culture and part of how we talk to one another. And they were just like, all right, well, I agree to disagree. So I think it's just generational. And I think it's also like, I don't
wait,
know.
so
I don't know. Because I wouldn't say generational because me and Selena are in the same generation, but it's just like, it's not that I don't understand what Selena's saying. I completely understand what she's saying. And I agree, like I respect that, but I just think differently.
I just thought about
I feel
something
like
you
you
just
think
said, CC.
Hmm.
Oh, she's about to go. You was about to go, Selena?
was she? No, go ahead.
She was like
Go ahead.
she took back the word, the power of the word, but we'll still get upset if a Caucasian person uses it. So we didn't take the power back because they still have power over it because we'll still fight them if they use it. And we're still having this conversation.
And that's the point I wanted to say. Go ahead. Because I want to know when we took the power back. Is what I was going to ask.
Right. I mean, I didn't even realize it until she said it. A light bulb went off in my mind when she said, I'm
That's
like,
what I
no,
was going to say. When we
we
took,
didn't
when
take
did
the
we take
power
the
back
power back?
because they
I
still
mean, it's
have
not.
power over us every day. We see it on social media every day. Somebody says it, a fights break out, we get arrested, whatever the case.
That
Well,
don't seem like power.
I also think that's like, I don't know, that's their audacity. It's like a man. You know, that's one thing men were born with, like, you know, balls and audacity. You know, I like, why do I feel like why I don't know. I don't know. Like, if like, just say if I was raised, which is the complete opposite the way I was raised, but if I was raised by straight black people, you know what I'm saying? I don't even. I don't. No, but listen to me. If I was
Wait,
raised
she
in a
was?
town, I
Queen,
no.
I'm trying to figure it out too, baby.
No, I meant like let me finish. Let me finish. If
No,
what I'm
like I'm
saying
from a
is
real black
if
area.
if I was raised like in a town where there was only black people, like literally, like, you guys ever been to like countries where they like where like a black person will be walking around, they'd be looking at them like, oh my god, we've never seen a black person. You know what I'm
Nah, they be
saying?
looking at us
Yo,
like we're aliens. Tell the truth.
people were
Who is
taking
this
pictures
alien?
of my auntie Megan when she went to China.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
they were taking like that happens like in
They want to
Turkey and
touch your hair
Ireland.
that they never
They were
seen
like, oh
before.
my god, I've never seen a black person. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Hmm.
kind of talking about like that aspect. So if I was raised in like a town or something where it's just like, or a country where like I never saw a white person, I never really saw a white person, and we also use that word as how I use it now today and how black people use it now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. I would understand why I would still understand the history of it because I grew up watching Roots and I grew up, I'll understand it, you know, because I know the history,
Chicken
but
George.
it would never really, I would never really encounter a white person say it because I would automatically think like, no, you know what I'm saying? That's our language. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's kind of like the reason why we're scrutinized for it is because like white people are still using it and we're supposed to be like, oh no, we can only use it. And I feel like that the reason why we're saying we can only use it, people are getting upset about it because, well, you're still using it and you're allowing the white people to be like, oh, okay, they use it, so why can't I use it? You're setting it up because you're still using it, and I just don't think that's fair.
None of this shit is fair. I don't
But that's what I'm
understand.
saying. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's
So
fair
you
that
want the
we're
word. You
punished
want
for
the
my. But I don't think it's fair that we're punished for the way I talk and the way I talk to my people because of a white person thinks that they have the audacity to use it. And the only reason why they think they have the audacity to use it because they like, well, she's using it, it's okay. As if as a black person, there's something that they feel like they can do everything that I can do with my culture, and that's not true.
well,
So I don't think why I'm punished for it.
well, my thing is, okay, let me just step back a little bit because I do have a actual story I want to tell you guys about something that recently occurred with myself and my son. But my thing is, Cece, the response to what you were saying, it's just the word, they wanted the word to be stopped. Our ancestors, our generations before us wanted the word to stop. So that's what I'm trying to
Hmm.
understand. When do we take it back? They weren't like, well, now we are fighting for the use of the word among just ourselves. They wanted the word to stop because it was harmful and emotionally abusive. And so it's
Hmm.
like now we're saying now, oh, it's okay if we say it among each other. Why the fuck we don't come up with a different word? Because it's like you told them to stop it, but now you're utilizing it, and you're absolutely right. It's not fair. You should be able to like, no, this word is going to be for me. But that's the
Yeah,
thing. Like, it already was their word. We didn't start calling it us. We didn't come up with the N word for ourselves, and then they
we
took it,
did.
and then
That's what
they
I'm
took
trying to
it.
tell you. It's beyond. I'll put it in a group chat. Or I'll probably like list it to
Yeah,
you.
The you
please,
Basically,
saying
please.
with the A at the end, we came up with
no.
that, right?
You talking about that, Selena? Or are you talking about like the actual root of like
I'm talking
where
not the
niggas
rule.
came
I'm talking
from?
about when the word started being utilized, regardless of where it started from, in African Americans. When the word started being utilized for oppression during slavery time or
Oh, okay,
before,
just slavery
who
then. Okay,
started it? Who started the word? Who started the word? Was it us saying, "Oh, that's what we want to call each other," and then they came and said, "Hey, no, you're not going to call each other this. We're going to call you this and belittle you because you want to call it to each other." Or was it always the
Yeah,
word that they called us, and then now because we for whatever reason didn't like the word, but now we want to utilize it? And for me, just thinking now out loud as I'm speaking, is like I feel like they never stop using the word. So for us not to get angry and upset with them, we just try to make it our own, so we wouldn't feel as bad when we heard it. It's like when somebody calls you ugly and you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna call myself ugly so somebody can beat me to it." Because why the fuck would you want to take on a word that was literally made to make you feel less than a human? Just to be like, "Well, I took back a word." You could take back a lot more.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. We need. Okay, so maybe I'm getting this wrong. So I didn't want to really get into it. So basically, it was negus. Like that was the original word, and basically
Negus.
yeah. So basically, I really don't know that. Someone told me this. Like I read about this story like a long
What?
time ago.
I'm sorry. Have you heard of the word Negra?
Yeah,
Yeah, I done heard
the
it
Yeah.
before.
I
Huh?
with the I or a E,
No, Negra, like R-A, like
like
Nigra.
Nigra.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying with the I. Yeah, I have, but it's like anyway. This story as far as like because like before the slavery we were like black people had slaves, but we just didn't treat them like how I'm saying, like when we were like in
Indentured
our
servitude.
royals, yeah, and all that
Hmm.
stuff. You know what I'm saying? So in that part, it was negus, and then something happened, obviously, where we got into where the Caucasians came in and they gave it a negative connotation. So I feel like that is a really good question, Selena, as far as just like, was it a word that white people made up and they just called us this and then we just took it back so we can feel better? Or was it an actual word where the root stemmed from and then they gave it a bad connotation for 450 years and then we took it back and then we're trying to blah 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 blah. I think that is a good question, but that's what I'm saying. That's why I was trying to figure out like how to it where the actual history came from as far as like the word where it
I
started.
think the history came from with the ER. That's what I want to say.
But
Well,
I
yeah,
think
like during slavery, yeah,
Negro, don't isn't Negra mean black in in Spanish?
In Spanish.
Yeah,
yeah, negra,
negro,
yeah,
It's
negro,
how you pronounce it?
negro.
Negro means black, so that's probably where it came from.
But it probably it stem. All the words stem from Latin. We understand that, but it's like the adoption of the word nigger. Because like the reason why I'm bringing this up is because he's saying we took it back, like we're taking it back, and I just want to know is what are we taking back, and why, like you said, we have such a problem with them saying it with us today. You know what I mean? Because it's like if it was their
The kids
word.
younger than us, they feel differently than us. All of us on this
Exactly, and that's
podcast
what
is
I'm saying.
millennials. They feel differently.
Exactly. And like the
yeah.
same thing with Queen was saying, like it's something to be taught in the household. So I want to go and like one of the reasons why I wanted to discuss this topic today because something recently occurred with myself and my son.
Mm.
So my
Somebody
son,
call
he's
you
been
nigga? No, I'm just kidding.
not today. Well, I mean, I did speak to you earlier, so but anyway, so my son, he's in 6th grade, and
Hmm.
he's a minority at his school. It's predominantly Caucasian, and he's in a lot of different group chats, right? One of his really good friends is Caucasian, and a situation happened where the mom saw in a group chat that my son, and her son and two other boys were in, and her son, she received a screenshot where it was showing her son utilize the N word in a group chat
Mm.
that Sonny was in. Oh, my son was in. And so it was a screenshot of it. He didn't call him the N word, but it was like he used the N word like you would use bro. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
so she wanted to reach out to me. She reached out to me to have a conversation because she wanted to know if, when her son utilized that word, how it impacted my son. And so we went out, she talked to me, and she was basically very apologetic. She was like, "Hey, I saw in this chat that my son used the N word. Sonny didn't respond, so I didn't know if he saw it or not. um and but she was just like, this is not words that we use at home. I just wanted to apologize. Like, no, this is not where how I raised my kid. This is not something I used at home. So basically saying like I took his phone. He no longer has his phone. And she was like, I told him he has to apologize to Sonny because as him being his friend, you should not feel comfortable utilizing that word. And if he's going to be his friend, he needs to be an advocate for him. If he's going to and have people around him who say that word.
Did you already
And
say it? But is the
This
friend
is
car? Is the friend white or
yeah, my
Spanish
friend,
or
the friend
what?
is
Caucasian.
white. The friend is white. So this is his white mom
and this is
coming
his
to me.
mom saying this. This is his
Yeah,
mom
his
Okay.
saying
mom
this
is
to you.
telling
Okay.
me this,
Gotcha.
right? She because I didn't see it. Sonny didn't see it. You know what I mean? So Sonny was like, I don't even check my group chats. You know what I mean? So she saw her son did it, put the typed in the word in the chat and said it. And so she wanted to come to me to make sure that, see if my son was feeling some type of way about it. Because she was very inappropriate and she was like, listen, we don't she wanted to make sure that I knew that that's not something that she teaches her kids at home. She said, I don't know if it's something that's happening at school or what's going on. She said she went through his phone and she saw that there was a lot of group chats where it was predominantly like people, minorities utilizing that word, such as what is it? Hispanics and Asians that would utilize that word that she realized
Hmm.
within the chats. So she was like, but she was like, I just want, she was very apologetic and was like, hey, if Sonny doesn't want to be his friend anymore, like that word is not okay. She was like, I don't understand like why he would use it. She was like, she was very apologetic. So her son ended up calling my son and apologizing and was just like, "Hey, I'm sorry for me utilizing that word. If I'm around you and someone says it, I will be an advocate for you." Which I thought was amazing. Her being, she didn't brush it under the table, holding her son accountable, letting him know. And having a conversation with my son, he was like, I asked him, I was like, have you ever heard your friend use this word in school or any other people use the word in school? He said, the only time I hear that word is when the other black kids at school use that word. Oh, he
Mm.
said, but my friend group doesn't use it. He said, now I have heard it from other people that are not of African descent utilize that word all the time, but it's just not within his friend group. So it was one of those things where he was like, well, I was like, well, Sonny, if you hear that word and it amongst you and your friend group and you have your friend who's apologized, you're going to have to stand up for yourself and not say that's okay. Because that's a word that my son doesn't use. And he is African descent. He doesn't use that word. He doesn't like that word. You know what I mean? And it's just not something he's been taught to use. He has family members who enjoy the word, but he still chooses not to utilize it. So
Enjoys
for
the word.
me,
Yeah, sometimes I enjoy the word. I only say that word when I'm mad. I ain't gonna
so
lie.
for me, the point I'm trying to make is like it was very eye opening for that mom because I've heard it. I've heard other kids in his class say it, and other kids on the game they say it, and no
Hmm.
parent says anything, and they feel like it's okay. So it was very like humbling experience to have a Caucasian person come to me and be like, "Hey, this is not okay. It was never okay and I'm apologizing," which put me on alert because like I'm not gonna lie, I've heard other cultures use it and I'm like, why are you utilizing it? I have a friend that I grew up and he always used it. You know what I mean? And still to this day it's one of his, it's someone I still see
Who?
around. I still someone I see around and they just use it. They're they're Hispanic descent and they just use it. And it's just like, for them they're like, what's the problem? Like I'm not saying it, I'm not calling you one. What's the problem? It's just my word. Like, what's the problem? And it's one of those things where it's like you can't get mad. Just like you being at home, your kids, you're saying the F word, and then all of a sudden your kids start saying the F word. Are you really upset with it?
I don't know.
Like,
I know you said that earlier, Selena, that I mean even Queen said that like you think it starts from the home. I don't know if like white parents are, I mean I'm not saying it never happens, but I think the white kids use it because they hear it in music and they hear it in popular culture and they
yeah,
hear their friends say it. I don't know if
Yeah.
like the 40, 50-year-old white people at home and just saying nigger in front. You know what I mean? Not saying that
Yeah,
they
No, yeah,
don't say it,
I got what you're
I,
saying. I
but
got
I
I
what you're
feel
totally
saying.
agree.
like
I totally
Takashi,
agree
like
with
I
it.
know y'all heard about Takashi 6ix9ine, and
Yeah.
is another white rapper that's in the news right now over saying the word. I don't think they got that from their parents. They get that from their
The
peers,
music that they listen to.
And one
The
right?
peers, the
and
culture.
Popular culture.
Yeah,
And so
a
what I'm
hundred
saying
percent.
is like, why is it that but what I do think starts at home is how you behave outside. And what I do think it starts at home is like how what your role models. I think like a lot of times I'll see like comments on like people who are in like who are celebrities in the industry, so and so shouldn't do this because they're role models, you know what I'm saying? Well, how about how about your parents be your role models? You know what I mean? How about why I feel like I don't know. I just feel like I can watch. I watch Goodfellas at a very 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 young age. Okay, at a
Mm.
very young age. Okay, but I also knew that I'm not gonna go to school with a gun. I'm not. That's not real. That's not. I'm not doing that. I'm not using what I'm seeing as entertainment into real life. You know what I'm saying? Because I know
But
that my parents have.
that's not every kid though.
No, it's
Exactly,
not.
and
That's what I'm saying. But I know my parents have discipline. You know what I'm saying? So my
Hmm.
thing is, if if like you said, Rashad, how they're most likely they're not getting it from their parents or 40 or 50 year olds or whatever. They're getting it from their where they're at, and if they have black friends or if they're in a type of neighborhood or if the music they're listening to. You know what I'm saying? But if it was
Hmm.
instilled in you at a young age of what you're supposed and supposed not to do and what you're supposed to say as a white Caucasian person, you know what I mean? Why is it that why is it this that it's my problem that you don't know how to act right and you don't know what to say and what not to say? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure we could say a whole bunch of stuff to white people and they'd be like, they'll think that we're racist, to them. And that, like I said, it's over every culture. It's kind of like well, I don't understand why you're wearing that outfit out, girl. Like, are you trying to catch attention? Bitch, why can't I just look good? You know what I mean? So I kind of feel like that's the same analogy with it.
And the point I want to make, Rashad, about starting at home is like Cece was saying, yeah, and you as well. Yeah, we get a lot of stuff from the street, but just like Cece said, we watch certain stuff, and our parents taught us like, even though you may hear this, this is not okay, and you say that this is not okay.
Yeah, I
You know
had
what I
to
mean?
learn
I
that the hard
understand
way
you.
too.
Yeah, you learn like, hey, look, you might see experience this, exposed to this. We're always going to be exposed to stuff outside of our element, outside of our comfort. But just know that's not okay,
Okay,
and
yeah.
that's the difference. So there are a lot of them, like you said, they might not be at home doing it, but they know what their kids are listening to, or they don't know, which is worse. And so you don't know what your kid is listening to. So when they're out amongst their friends, you're not making sure, you know what I mean? Or you think, oh, little
Mm-hmm.
Timmy's he's little Timmy's okay, because he's
Mm-hmm.
entitled. He doesn't mean anything. We don't talk about it at home. So that's obviously something he's learning from the street, and that's okay because it doesn't offend me as a person in my culture and my family. And that's what I mean. Certain stuff, like, what's right and what's wrong. People are going to do stuff wrong all the time. You know what I mean? But what is right and what's wrong? And my thing, I feel like both parties are guilty when it comes to the
Mm-hmm.
utilization of that word. I honestly, my opinion, agree to disagree, we should have never tried to me take back that word. It should have just never. It's not okay. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. Because if you want to teach me something to take back, how about teach me financial literacy or something like that? If you want to give me something to take back, so I can get my 40 acres and a mule.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I understand that, Sling. I really do. I mean, like,
Thanksgiving gonna be a lot
I
of
guess the word,
Rashad. Thanksgiving gonna be
I
like,
guess the
nigga,
word is a
nigga.
little bit, the word is a little bit more, it's a little bit more easier to pass down than, financial literacy
Because
or
what are
any
you
type of other
teaching
thing.
people? Like I have
But it's not my, I guess it's just like it's not my problem. Like it's like I would never spend time like I would go all the way into that. But I just feel like it's not my problem, and I shouldn't have to live now. Like I have to live as me. I have to live as an individual individual, I have to protect my own and my family, and that's what I would do. So when I can only protect, I control myself. So when I feel some type of way, and I feel how I want to be treated, and the people who talk to me and how I want to be talked to, then I will assess that at my time, and that's who I surround myself with, like-minded people. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I feel as though that I should be able, especially as a black woman or a black person. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we're owed a lot, and I also feel like, you know what I mean, like, the only reason why it's this connotation or whatever is because they are using it. And if I want to, if I just feel like that's the only reason. Because if that never happened, your mom, that woman would have never came to you, Selena. Y'all would never had to sit down, and none of that would ever happen that boy knew better. If he knew, like, or if it was talked about, maybe, and we can't say. I mean, we can't say, like, there are children that don't listen to their parents. You know what I'm saying? That, look, I'm gonna do whatever I want to. My dad told me plenty of times not to say this, but I'm gonna say it when I want to. So I understand that.
Hmm.
I understand that, like, you can't control everything another person does. At the end of the day, like, they're your mom, but they're also just people. You know what I'm saying? So I
True.
get that.
True.
But at the same time, just like how you said earlier, like, what I mean, like, especially when it's a cultural thing, I think that's just, you get your ass whooped.
Okay, so I just want I feel like we need to do a part two of this because there's some
Oh yeah,
research we need to
definitely.
do. Definitely part two, and I have some guests that I'm going to invite next week because we got to go deeper. And I just want to end like really on a question note. I want to know how black or what percent of black do you have to be to use the word and not looked at? I just want to know if
Is your
you
mama
don't.
black?
Okay, your
Is your
It's
mom.
mama
not your
daddy
mama
black?
being black, it's your dad.
What if you got a little bit of black in you? Like your parent, I have people who look fair skinned and they say it's okay for me to say it because my grandfather was black. Because I have black in my bloodline. Is that okay? But they look like Karen. They look like Karen. Is that okay?
That is definitely a topic.
That is a
So
That
topic
is
that's what
right there.
I want
Put
to
definitely
know.
Karen
that
You,
is
ass
you, you,
knocked
took, you
down.
took back the word, but with no stipulations. So I just want to
no one
know.
said there was this. Okay,
I know. I just want to know.
it's a topic. It's a topic. It's a topic. It's a topic.
I just want to know who's allowed,
I
how
said
black.
I said what I said, and for all the 10 million viewers out there who's watching this, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. You know
Hey,
what I
you
mean.
know what I mean? Like, I just want to know what percent. So when we come back next week, we're gonna know what percent you have to be, or who needs to be black for you to say the word.
Rashad,
We
get on
gonna
the
know.
job.
We gonna know
Oh yeah,
where
this
the
this
word.
was shot. This was shot.
Get on
We
your
gonna know
job.
where the word stemmed from. We gonna know if it's a word that we just wanted to adopt, or this is a word that actually was utilized among us and they took.
This shit.
So
Man,
What
fuck
percent
all
did you
that.
have to
Listen, my
be?
whole thing is at the end of the day, my name is Shaquina. You don't call me by Shaquina, bitch, you ain't talking to me. That's just how I see it. You ain't talking to me. You want to call me nigga. I don't want to hear none of that.
Nigga,
I
please.
don't get expressed by that shit. My name is
see, you see,
Shaquina.
you see, this is what I'm talking about. That's wrong right there. That is what's
My name
wrong
is
with us.
Shaquina. I don't want to hear none of
Cece
that
is what's
shit.
wrong with us. Cece's what's wrong with us.
But
That's
Cece younger than us, shit,
Cece is by 2 years, Queen. She was hanging out with
Man,
us. She
fuck
was hanging.
that.
She was hanging
I
out with us.
I
I'm
mean, like I
just
said,
joking.
but
I'm just joking.
we didn't use that word when we was young. When we got older, yeah, we may have,
No, we
said it
didn't.
a little bit
We
more,
didn't.
but
That's
when
what I'm
we was
No,
saying.
young,
We
we
I.
didn't
didn't say
grow with
it.
this word, so that's why I want to
No,
know
we didn't.
when did my sister adopt it? Cause we
I started
obviously
listening to hip
adopted.
hop.
Hey, okay, when she started listening to that
Yeah, when
ratchet
she
ass
started
I started
listening to
listening to
music,
hip
hip
hop.
hop.
that shit changed her
Our
life.
parents didn't allow us to listen to music
That's
with curse
bullshit. They
words.
allowed us to listen to it, Cece, but we
I
got
started listening
Britney
to hip hop. I
You
started
got to
listening
listen
to
to
Lil
some damn
Wayne.
Britney
and
Spears.
Cece, and so did Timmy, and so did Timmy. All right,
Some of some
guys, this
damn
is
Britney
Timmy
Spears.
should
so,
know better.
and
All
so
right,
did
all right.
Timmy. All right, guys. Does anyone else have anything to add before we sign off?
Stay black and sanitized, mofos.
Hey.
But only certain people, obviously. This is subscription
Yes.
versus issue. We're signing off. We'll see you guys next week.
Why?